Hi guys, so today we're going to start decorating our December daily, but first I wanted to make a little trifold notepad to go in the front cover of the December daily notebook. So we're going to start by cutting just a few pieces of, I used copy paper, just cheap copy paper, and I cut it at 3.5 by 5 and I made a nice little pack of it there. And then I'm going to use some hot glue to hold it together just for time's sake, but you probably want to use like a tacky glue and just let it sit and dry just so you don't have the lumpy bumpies on the top. But either one is going to work because the pages just rip right out. And I'm going to kind of smooth it down a little bit so it's not quite so bumpy. And this is like a super simple little way to make notepads. If you have notepads laying around, just use what you've got, but I didn't have one, so I opted to make my own. I got a little scrap piece of chipboard, cut that also to 3.5 by 5. I'm going to just attach it to the back with some tacky glue. Nothing exciting there. And then the paper that I'm going to use to make the trifold that the notepad is going to sit in was the paper that I ordered from Simon Says Stamp when I ordered all the stuff to make the outside of the book. So I already went through this all with the original making of the book itself of what supplies that I had, and I'll also let you know as I'm going through what other supplies you're going to need in order to finish decorating. But I just took one piece of the Santa's Workshop paper that I had ordered, a 6x6 paper pad, while I was waiting for my kit to come from Simon Says. And this is just one piece. I was very stingy with it because I knew I was going to need a lot of paper to finish this. So that's just a scrap piece, and I just cut it to 3.5 inches in the length, or width, sorry, width. And then it's probably about a inch and a half to 2 inches wide, tall. And then I just used some score tape and went right over the top just to give it a finished look on the top so you don't see the lumps. That piece of paper there is 5 3/4 tall by 9, and then I scored it at 3 7 and rounded the corners with my corner rounder. And then the paper is cut just slightly smaller than each one of the panels. And I'm just going to decorate the outside with those. This paper is absolutely adorable. I love this paper pack. It really did make decorating this book go together really quickly. And you can see my little tin there off to the side where I keep all my little goodies. I had already picked out a closure for it. That's what I'm going to show you now. So I have these brads, and they were left over from old October Afternoon. I hoarded October Afternoon Christmas stuff like a crazy person for years, and now I'm actually going to use it because it goes really well with this Cartabella Santa's Workshop. So you can see there it's just a little Santa brad, and I think that one came from the Holiday Cheer from October Afternoon. And then the piece behind is just a piece of chipboard. And I just put a hole in it, stuck it through, and that's just to give it a little bit more stability. Attached that. Now I'm going to attach my little paper pad to the inside because I don't want it to slide out. I didn't want to make a pocket or anything. I just wanted to be able to open it and rip off a piece as I needed it. So just use some score tape. I'm going to attach it right to the inside, and that's going to be how it looks, other than I'm going to decorate it. And for me, for my decorating, I'm going to show you how to make tags to go along with your book. But I have a ton of ephemera from October Afternoon also. And so I'm going to be using quite a bit of that in my kit. You can also order the Santa's Workshop ephemera. I noticed that Simon Says didn't have it. I will try to look for who does have it and link it for you, but I do know that once this kit was released, everybody kind of bought Simon out of all of his Santa's Workshop stuff. So I will try to find it and link it below, so if you want to pick up the ephemera pack, you can. I didn't need it because like I said, I have a ton of this October Afternoon and I knew what I was going to use. And that's some of the stuff that I gave away in those kits that I gave away to those two lucky people that won them. So now I'm just going to take this is some really thick baker's twine and a real pretty red and white. And I'm just going to tie a little bit around that enclosure that I made. And this is how I'm just going to keep it closed. I'm just going to wrap it around a few times. and then trim it down, and that's what I'm just going to kind of wrap it around there, and that's what's going to keep it closed. And isn't that adorable? Super easy, super fun, and that is going to go right inside the inside cover, which we are going to make the pocket for right now. So we'll set our little trifold notepad away and get to work on the inside cover. So first we're going to need a pocket. And because the trifold is bigger than just a regular size, you know, something that I would be able to do, I'm going to make a little bit bigger of a pocket. So it's kind of like an accordion fold. So that is 8 inches wide, and I'm scoring it like an inch on either side. So it's a half an inch and then an inch on either side. And I'm just going to accordion it back and forth, just like this. And this just allows the pocket to kind of pull out a little bit further from the side. So I'm just going to kind of trim down my corners to make them nice and neat. And I do this for every pocket that I make. I just kind of trim down my little corners there. And then I'm going to fold up the bottom, which is another half-inch score on the bottom. And that's pretty much it for your accordion pocket. And then it just allows it to stick out a little bit further from the page so that you can stick thicker things inside of it. So you're not like putting too much stress on the inside pocket. So now I'm going to attach my paper. And if anybody from Cartabella ever watches this, please, in the future, let's not do the hole in the top, because oh my goodness, this paper is fabulous. I love it. You guys are geniuses, but that hole in the top really does make it difficult to decorate your pages, because see, it's right there and it's right in the middle of what I want to keep on my page. So I have to come up with some ways to cover up those holes on the papers where I want it to go all the way to the top. In this case, I just used a brad and I put it in the hole just to kind of cover it up so you can't see the blue behind it. But and then in other, you'll see on other pages where the hole was there where I would cover it with something else. But you know, just I guess you just have to go through your stash and see what you've got that you can cover the holes up with, because it's just there. There's nothing you can do about it. Now I'm gonna decorate the pocket. And I'm just going to show you here, I have this as chipboard, and it's again from the Make It Merry October Afternoon. I have a chipboard set that's been sitting here forever. But if you don't have chipboard and you want to make little edges, if you have an edger die, you know, just cut them out and then put some little, out of the red paper, put a couple little white dots with a gel pen, and you pretty much have the same thing, just won't be as thick as the chipboard pieces that I have here. So I'm just going to attach them down, and I have to use some glue because these chipboard that I have, like I said, I can't remember exactly when October Afternoon went out of business, but I've had these for years, so they're not as sticky as they used to be, so I have to glue them down. And I cut out one of the decorative strips from, this is one of the pages inside your 6x6 paper pad, and I just cut one of the ones that I loved and put it on the pocket, and that's it, pretty much it for the inside cover, and that's going to hold the trifold notepad. So here I just am showing you that I've kind of laid out how the pages are going to go once we get to decorating the pages. But first, before we do that, we're going to start by putting the cover together. So I showed you before that I'd already cut the red and the blue, and I was just waiting for the kit to come so that I could decorate it. And you can see kind of down in the corner there, I use this mat. It's just a rotary cutting mat, and it's kind of like plastic. So luckily, none of these stickers actually stay stuck to it. So it's a really good way for you to map out your pages if you want to try to figure out where everything's going to go. So that's what I did there, and you can see it down on the side that's kind of basically what I thought I wanted to do with my cover. So I cut out some snow from some nice white glitter paper, and I'm just attaching it with some score tape and some dimensionals to raise up that front hill. And then I'm going to start adhering my pieces where I want them to go. So I wanted a couple of the deer because I thought they were super cute, and the sign, and here comes Santa Claus. And then I also wanted to say the 25th somewhere. So this was my basic design, and I will show you in a minute what I actually taped down, because I forgot that I had cut out December in 2018 and I needed to also add that. So this is the finished cover here, where everything is attached. Some I have dimensionals behind, some it's glued straight down. And then the December and the 2018 is from a die that I use a lot. Like if you go back and look at any of my videos, my other videos where I have words that I've cut out like that, I use the same set of dies. And they're Provo Craft dies that I do not believe are around anymore. So, but whatever you have that you're using, because there's so many great die sets out there for letters, you just can do the same thing. This came in the kit, the Simon Says kit, and it's the candy cane and bows. And I'm just going to show you how I'm putting them together. So I cut out 2 white and 2 red using the cardstock that came in the kit from Simon Says Stamp. And I'm going to kind of speed through it because otherwise it takes forever. But I just took some score tape and I went along the back of the candy canes. And then I just kind of, like a puzzle, just put the every other white or red, depending on which one I did, piece in. And because the score tape is, sticky on the side that I laid down, it just holds all of the pieces in place. And then once I've got them all together and all the pieces in, I'll just trim off any excess score tape I have on the outside. I'm going to glue my bow to there, and then that's it. And that holds it together. So when you're decorating, or you can just do it straight onto the page if you know exactly where it's going to be. This is my punch that I've had for a long time. It's EK Success, and it's the one that I use to make my photo mats. So that is my best friend, and I keep it right there because there's a lot of photo mats. Every day is going to have at least one photo mat on it. So I'm just going to kind of speed this up. So I'm just basically took every single page, and you'll see here when I pull this off again because I forgot to put my vellum down first. It's the page is 5 by 5.5, so I cut my base paper, my decorative paper. I cut it at 4 3/4 by 5 1/4. So it's just slightly smaller than the pages, and I did that for every single page in here. Then my photo mats, I cut them slightly smaller than I have one of those 2 by 3, and so that is the size of the mat for the 2 by 3 photos. And the first week of December was actually pretty boring for me. I worked for most of the days, and the days that I wasn't working, I was decorating. So my husband sent me a picture while I was at work of my 2 little puppies, and they're sitting on the heated blanket. He turned it on for them because they were being babies because it's really cold right now. I live in North Idaho, so the temperature has been in the teens. And yeah, they love that heated blanket. So again, one of the um, little cards there off to the side is another one that came from, one of the packs, the ephemera packs that I had. And I just cut out the number 1 and an S and a T for the first, and I did that for every page. And that's that same set of dies that I have. They are numbers and letters. And I'm attaching them to basically that's the spot where I will write when I get around to actually writing down what happened that day, which is basically I went to work. That's what that page will probably say. And on the inside pages, I decided that each one of them was going to kind of match. So I wanted there to be, when you open the trifold up, for it to be like cohesive, so it would look good. So I did blue, red, blue on this one, and also the decorating is kind of the same too. So on the inside pages, I wanted pockets, and I for the sake of saving my paper, I'm just using some cheap craft cardstock from Michaels, the same stuff I used to make the pages. I think I told you what I bought. It was like a 50 pack or 25 pack. I can't remember how many are in it. And that's what I'm going to use to make all of my pockets. And then I'll decorate the pockets with the decorative paper, just to save the decorative paper because I don't want to waste it on pockets. So we're going to attach 3 pockets, 1 to each one. And then we'll decorate them all kind of going to, like they go together. So again, with the strips that came in the 6x6 paper pad, and I'm just going to attach them to the middle of each pocket. And this one, I wanted to show you how to do basically the same thing that I was doing um, with the decorative tags that I've been putting in there for my to write on. But you can do this with any tag. So you just take any old tag. If you have a die to cut them out, great. If you don't, you can buy them already made, or even just clip the edges, and good enough. This is just a plain white tag, and I put my numbers on the top for the second. Took some of the decorative papers because you're gonna have a lot of strips. So this is a great way to use up all of the little extra strips, and just kind of put it on the bottom. Took a piece of the red, also another strip, made a cute little bow out of this candy cane ribbon, and there it is. So you can do that instead of having the ephemera pieces, like what I have throughout most of the book. Like I said, if I didn't have those, that's exactly how I would be doing it. So there's the picture. That picture is from the second, and I just happened to be looking at my little trees. I had some little trees upstairs, and that is a Alice in Wonderland, and it just made me smile, so I took a picture of it. Because again, I was going to work, so I didn't really have a lot to take a picture of for its second. Here's another one of the strips off that same page, and here's another piece of ephemera with a place to write, and I'm just going to put the third on this one. Kind of rearrange it a little bit because I know I want my photo mat to go on the other, is going to be on the other side. So here's the third, and then make my photo mat. And this picture is my husband and I being goofy, playing with Snapchat filters. And I forgot that I had to put that little ephemera piece behind it, so I had to take out. Luckily, the tape from those ATG guns and the Simon Says stamp, the cardstock, it just rolls right off the back. It's not it, but it doesn't come off. Like my stuff doesn't move around and fall off. It just rolls right off the back. If I tried to do that on the cheap craft paper, the craft paper just peels up with the tape. So I don't know if it's because Simon's cardstock is smooth and thicker that the tape comes off easier, but I can't do that on the cheap craft paper. I can only do it on the good paper. So I bought this Ho 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 die from Simon Says also, and I thought it would look cute like it's rolling up the hill. And then I put the little truck from the sticker pack that came in the kit from Simon Says. Here's another ephemera piece. And I had these little bags sitting in the drawer, and they're holiday. I thought they would be cute to stick in the pocket just to shove stuff in. And now we're going to work on the next day. And again, I forgot to put the vellum. The vellum is just a great place to put stuff, whether it's the numbers for whatever day it is, and it just allows you to be able to see what's behind it so that you're not blocking anything that you did decorative wise behind it, but it gives you also a spot to, like a stopper for your tags, to keep stuff from falling out. You can even turn the vellum, which I did at one point further down in the video, into a pocket itself. So you see how you have your tag there. For this one, I decided to use another one of those really awesome. This one says Joy, and I just attached it, and that's my stopper right there. And then I'll put my photo mat on the other side, and that's my big dog, who refused to look at me. She's laying in front of the Christmas tree. Could have been a totally awesome picture, but she was not cooperating. And then the fourth is going to go right on the vellum. Anyway, the vellum is a great place to either put a stopper. It's a great place to put your date for whatever day it is. Also to decorate it. Like I got this. This is also another chipboard piece from October Afternoon, and since it was a cute little puppy, I thought it would be perfect right there. So yeah, if you when you're decorating, make sure you keep your vellum close by, because you can use that. On this page, I love this little North Pole scene. I tried to keep as much of it in there as I could. I also have this ephemera piece. It says Christmas in the City, and it's got a little city picture. I thought it went really well with this background piece. Put the 5th on there, and that's going to go with my photo mat. The board I did. Oh, that's just a picture of my Christmas tree. I finally finished it. I bought the candy canes and got all the ornaments on it, so I took a picture of it. And here's one of the candy canes that I made from the die set that came in the kit. And you can see that you won't see it once you attach it to the paper, the score tape, but it holds everything in place nicely. And I'm just going to pop it up behind the bow, stick it on. And then I needed something to stop that little paper from going, so I just glued the two ends of the star. So it's not glued on the top, so you can kind of stick that tag in there. But here is where we are so far. I'm just kind of going through it to make sure that I've gotten everything. There's the 5th. And now we're going to do the week 1 review. So on the very back page, I decided it'd be a good place to make a pocket for you to keep stuff in from the first week. So even though it's a December daily, there's things that you can keep besides, special moments. You can also keep receipts, lists for like your dinners, all kinds of stuff. So these envelopes came in the Simon Says kit this month, and they're gorgeous envelopes. And so I decided to use one to keep, keepsakes in. So ticket stubs, like I said, receipts, whatever you are going to keep. And so I'm making a pocket again out of that craft paper, and I'm just going to attach that down. And this is the red envelope. I also took white embossing powder, and I embossed on that envelope, which I showed you a moment ago. So now I'm just going to decorate with another one of those great strips, and that goes right in there. And it's just a great little place to, you could decorate the heck out of that envelope, and it's just absolutely beautiful right there. And it's sparkly too. So I had to add some Wink of Stella to that bow that I have on there. I am eventually going to get to the point where I stop forgetting that I'm going to put vellum, and I won't attach the page first. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bunch of that craft paper missing from when you pull up the the thing with the tape on it. So here's my picture from this day, which is just more of my decorating, trying to get the house ready for Christmas for all my kids. I have 5 and they're coming, so I'm like, this is our first winter in Idaho, and they're all coming up from California, so hopefully it will snow. I did see pictures that it's actually snowing in California after I leave. I come to Idaho, it's not snowing in Idaho. So I'm kind of hoping that it's going to snow before they get here, so they can at least see a real Idaho. This will basically be their first Christmas with snow in forever. So it'll be nice. I cut out a couple of little snowflakes and put pearls in the middle to cover up. I don't know if you could see it, but that was another one of those holes that I can't stand from the paper pack. So I had to cover up that hole because I couldn't stand it. And now I'm just going to put the 6th here on the vellum. And I don't know if you saw, but I put a little tiny piece of score tape underneath the vellum right there to use it as a stopper for that tag so that it wouldn't fall out, that little piece of ephemera fall out the bottom. So there's the 6th. I believe I just got this kit on Thursday, and I am already editing the video and getting ready to upload it on Saturday, so I think I am doing really well. That's another one of the stickers from the kit. And now we have day 7 and 8 and the extra pocket in the page in the middle. And these are from, again, I've got a bunch of 12 by 12 sheets of paper from October Afternoon also, and so I thought I would use them. I also cut and colored a bunch of the stamps from the stamp set that you got, and I tried to color them using pretty much the same colors as the whole entire kit is, with the reds and the blues. So I'm just going to attach my pages and decorate. And the stamp set is so cute. Um, this the middle extra pocket page is going to have the Santa with the list, and then the day 8. I'm going to decorate it here, but I'll show you later. I completely changed it. I hate the way it looked. Day 8 looked by the time I finished it, so I went back and changed it. And when I do at the end of this video, when I do page by page, you'll see the different. I'll point it out what I did wrong. So when you're watching me decorate page day 8, just ignore it. It's not what it looks like. And yes, I know I cut my pocket a little bit short, but I just went with it. Now I'm just putting down, I wanted to kind of save the pattern paper. One of the things I'll warn you about now is if you're going to actually follow this decorating wise, and you're going to need more than one 6x6 paper pad. I noticed as I was getting to this point here that I was going to be in trouble because I only bought one extra. There's 24 pages. See there's the little Santa I did. He's so stinking adorable. Anyway, there's 24 pages in the 6x6 paper pad. If you buy an extra one, you only get 12 of those in your kit from Simon Says, and I would suggest buying 2 6x6 paper pads. The only thing that saved me is the fact that I had a bunch of October Afternoon that kind of matches, so I was able to kind of mix and match the rest of the pages basically. I've already pre-cut a lot of them just to see how far I could go, even though I haven't decorated it yet. So I know you're gonna run out of paper. So that's my warning. So that's the last picture that I've taken, because right now today's the 8th and that's the 7th. And that's my daughter. We were outside putting up the Christmas lights outside, and she is a whopping 4'11", and she was up on her tippy toes trying to put lights on this pine tree that is right outside the front door. And she is so tiny. I just thought it was an adorable picture, so I took it. So now I'm just going to decorate up the 7th. I love how that Santa looks right there in the middle. It's absolutely adorable. And this whole page comes together when I redo it, because the 8th, like I said, I don't like the way the 8th came out. You'll see now. So just disregard what I'm doing. What I wanted to do was to make it kind of cohesive with the 7th, so they kind of matched each other. So I was going for that same look, but then I realized that I didn't really have anywhere to put the number 8. So I thought I would just make it on this little extra scrap piece of the candy cane paper, which this was fine, but then once I attached it to the pocket itself, I just didn't like the way it flowed. So we're going to get rid of all of that. But I did keep the candy cane 8th. I did not get rid of that. So just attach down my stuff. I keep poking my head in there. So I have the book pushed up kind of far, so I have room in front of me. And I keep sticking my head in there. So now we're going to move on to day 9. I wanted to get through at least 10 days worth of days for you guys. So yeah, because I probably won't be able to put up another video until closer to, at least not with the decorating, because I have 29 Christmas cards to make. So the decorating of the book's probably not going to get another video up until close to Christmas for the rest of the decorating. So this is where this time I remembered to do the vellum before I attached the paper. And this is the 9th, so I'm just going to put again, using the vellum as a place to put my numbers, and a little piece of, that's one of the pieces of ephemera from the paper pack that you get. So that's that one. And then day 10, I took that awesome sticker from one. You get 2 sticker packs in this kit if you haven't received your kit yet, which it felt to me like it was taking forever for me to get it, but I'm sure it came about the same time as everybody else's did. So I wanted to put that along the bottom. So I took the vellum again and used that to hang onto it and kind of turned it into a pocket. So that right there is a pocket. So you can put your stuff just right in it like a regular old pocket. See? And that is the 10th. Oh, I'm going to do the review, the weekly review. So again, I took the Naughty and Nice because I love this sheet. I absolutely love it. I'm just going to attach it. And that dang hole at the top that irritates me. There's also a hole in that one. I felt like every part of this had a hole in it. But I decided to use that pickup truck sticker that comes in your sticker sheet. So I'm going to cover that hole on this pocket with the big old truck so you won't see that hole at all. See, there he is. No hole is gone. And then I'm going to eventually I'm going to decorate the white envelope that comes in your kit, and that one will be there. So now we're going to run through the book real quick so you can see all of it. There's my big pocket, the accordion pocket with the notepad. There's the first with my puppy sleeping on the warm blanket. The second with the regular tag. The third with my goofy husband and I. And then in the middle is just an extra place to put stuff. This is my other big dog. Here's the week in review. Even though the week isn't over, it's only 5 days. It's just basically the end of each one of your pages. Oh, I forgot about the 5th. There's the 5th with my tree. Some of my little decorations. There's the 7th and the 8th, and see the 8th is completely different now. It has one of the Christmas trees that I had colored earlier, and then the review page in the back. And then this is the rest that's going to need to be decorated, and so that will be the next video, which, like I said, probably won't come until closer to Christmas because I have a ton of Christmas cards to make. So I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching this video. I hope I've given you some inspiration for your December daily. And, let me know what you like, what you hate. I'm open to suggestions for the rest of this book because I do have a lot more pages to decorate. And I will see you again real soon. Thanks so much for stopping by. Bye-bye.